there is a story concerning one of the cast of the show, Pastor's Wife. If you remember this particular show, spoke about it some other time. There's a lot of hectic scenes on the show. There was one lady that was even saying that she would bewitch another lady. And I was like, hey, what show are we watching? You know, I was like, what show are we watching here? So, one of the cast members was this lady called Queen Nandi. Queen Nandi, I think she was in the Methodist Church. I forgot the name of the church. She had a very dramatic life on social media. Out of all the pastors there, you know, the other pastors, there was this Nigerian one. I was like, is she a pastor's wife? Or he just picked there, like they were driving through, you know. So they were driving through, they saw her, they're like, hey, do you want to be in a show? I mean, like when you have a pastor's wife who's talking about juju, you're like, what are you? What? So the show was wild. But now, Queen Nandi then had a huge drama between her and the church which they were from. They got kicked out, and then I think they were dismissed from the church, and which caused the church to then remove them from the church, from the mission house. Mission house, for those that have never been in church, maybe are houses that are owned by the church, and then they put their staff members, maybe pastors and so forth in. So they were kicked out of that house. You know, people took big issues. I was like, okay, maybe they've never been in church. They don't understand how these houses work. Mission house is basically they put their pastor so that they don't have to worry about where you stay when you get there. You can move out and go and stay somewhere else and find your own place. But when you arrive, they put you in that house so that you don't have to be worrying about that. So made sense why they were removing them. So they didn't just remove it, they evicted them. Same situation now. She was now evicted out of the current house in Santi. So now, when this story came out, I think I saw the video yesterday, people were saying, you know, she's probably living over her means and the whole nine watches, right? Because they said the house was in Santi. You know, social media, it's like a button that keeps giving. It's like you press it, it gives something. You press it, it gives something. The lady who owns the house responded. So she responded and gave her side of the story. And immediately after I heard the story, I gravitated towards that lady's story. I was like, yeah, no, this story makes sense. Okay? This story makes sense. The lady, turns out, she also is being ordained. I don't know if they are from the same church, but they had an agreement, and she was supposed to be shooting a show, and she was supposed to be there for the shoot of the show. This was not even a house she was staying. They were there supposedly to shoot the show. You know, these TV shows, they'll be fake. They'll be faking everything. So they were there to just shoot the show. And she just never moved. And the lady explained, listen, I got kids. I want to go back to the house. I have this thing that I want to do because I'm going to get ordained. And then if I heard that correctly. And I want to do my thing. I want to invite my people. The lady's story makes sense. And the lady says, you know what? I got cousins. So call my cousins, and my cousins are pissed. My cousins are not going to be busy there discussing with you. My cousins got pissed. They got in the car, went over there, removed everything. Simple. That's what happened in that thing. So this story got me, made me want to talk. I wanted to talk about this story because there are certain things that when you listen to, you could be swallowed into the story, but then it causes you to pull yourself out. Wait, the first thing is this. This is just my thought. When a person has a problem and the first place that they run to is social media, that concerns me. I'm very serious. When a person has a problem and the first place they run to is social media, that concerns me. You see, all that time she spent doing the live videos and what, that was enough time to contact her close circle. Like, those are the first people you contact. Social media people can't do nothing for you. And so, do you have a close circle? And why don't you have a close circle? These are now my thoughts. After seeing the story, I see everything else. But I want to talk about this now. Because this is the part that we need to sort out. There are people we need to look out for when they get on social media. Nothing against Queen Nandi or anything like that, but I need us to be very clear. We need to be very smart when we're watching people on social media. When there are certain things, when they happen in your life, you don't run to social media. You need to look for your close circles. Your close circles are the people that are going to come through for you. They're the kind of people that if I picked up the phone and I said, hey, dude, I'm stuck, that person will move heaven to make sure that today won't end without me being sorted. Why are you talking to us on social media? You don't have a close circle? Why don't you have a close circle? How do you not have a close circle? I'll tell you why most people don't have a close circle. You're not a nice person. You're not a good person. You don't know how to keep relationships. You don't keep relationships. When people come into your circle, they're easily swallowed up, and their entire life must now dismiss everything else. It must just center around you. Excuse me, please. Where is your close circle? You don't have a close circle? And I understand there are people that are very isolated and so forth and whatnot and stuff like that, right? I completely understand that. But when you're watching a lot of social media influencers and all these people, I'm telling you, mostly social media influencers, okay? I understand people that are not social media influencers and stuff like that. They're just people who are very much buried into their work and whatnot and all that kind of stuff. But mostly with influencers, be very careful with this. Don't fall into their trap, because people like this, because they are so famous, they're so popular. They think about it. They're the kind of people that have a new best friend every 2 weeks. That'll sing by itself. Why? Because they can't keep true friendships. Everything is benefit me. Everybody gets pissed off. After a while, everybody's like, okay, no, I can't stay around this person. And so why is it that they cry on social media? Because they don't have a close circle. If an emergency happened to me right now, I have 5 people that I can call. I have 5 people at my top of the list of the people I can call. And I'll give you this. Some of these people on my top 5, they might not even call me because there might be someone else who's specifically within close range to them. Someone just yesterday, they had an emergency. They were not far away from where I was. They didn't even call me. They didn't even call me. So I had to hear from someone. I'm like, hey, you had an emergency? Oh, they're like, yeah, I had an emergency, but this person I knew was this far, and they had a car, and they would have answers quicker. Boom. That's what you want to hear. That's what you want to hear. You want to hear that people, they're not just out there messing up relationships and ruining relationships and doing whatnot. So a lot of social media people are like that. Don't get sucked up into that. They come out giving sob stories. They cry all the time. They're crying on social media. Excuse me. You don't have people in your private life you could be talking to about this? I don't mean to press your buttons, but excuse me, please, man. I understand right now you crying about your kids are inside and the whole thing. So you doing a live video does what? Like how does that translate? Like, do you not have a close circle that can assist you in that situation? And so this video, like I said in the beginning, it's nothing against Queen Nandi. I just, when I see that, for me, it's a concerning thing. You don't have a close circle? And I want to repeat this, okay? This particularly is towards the people that are influencers. Like the people that are public figures and them type of things. Right? It's not individuals, not mostly individuals. Yes, sometimes it does trickle into individuals and stuff like that. But mostly this is for the social media influencers. When you see people like that, figures like that, who are like that public, you would think, okay, they have all these people next to them and whatnot. But when crisis hits, the first thing they think of is turning on the camera. You haven't built a close circle that you can call at a time of an emergency like that. I understand the calling the police and all that. I get that. But you haven't built. Like, there was a moment in the video, I think she was even saying, yeah, I'll call the police. I'm like, oh no, that's a phone, you know. The thing you have on your hand, it's a phone. You can do that. She said the police were not responding. Like I said, I repeat, nothing against her or anything like that. For me personally, when I see a public figure get a crisis, and the first thing they do is to switch on the phone and go live. I understand, you know, some people don't maybe have friends, or they don't have much of I get it. I understand that whole rich thing where people can cut themselves off from you and all that kind of stuff. But you must have right now, something went crazy for you right now. Something went crazy right now. Do you have 5 people you can call? Do you have 2 people that you know you can call? Do you have 1 person that you know you can pick up the phone and say, I'm in a very tight spot right now? Because see, that's what fellowship is all about. Fellowship builds that. And church people, for church people more especially, I expect that to be clear. For church people, I expect you have built fellowship to that level. So I'm just saying out loud here, for me, person has a crisis, and the first thing they do is pick up a camera. It just worries me a little bit. It worries me a little bit because, so, close circle, nothing. Why do people get close to you and they immediately move away? Just asking. You can't tell me that everybody's just, nah, come on. You can't tell me that everybody's just delulu when they get next to you and they're the ones, they're the problem. But everybody just keeps moving away. Something's wrong. You gotta fix that. You gotta address that. See, your circle should attract people, not repel. I have the same best friends as I had 10 years ago. I have the same best friend. I have the same friends that I had 5 years ago. My circle of 5 people that I can call in an emergency has been the same individuals. Same individuals. Don't have that? I'm just saying, man. Just saying. No buttons pressed. Y'all chill. And when you see your face get a crisis, and they come crying to you first. We're not saying don't help, but think about it. You don't have a close circle? Why don't you have a close circle? Especially if a person is a believer, or they say they're a believer. You don't have a close circle? You must keep each other accountable now. Must keep each other accountable. Now, why is it that people get next to you and they repel, and then they just scatter? Wait a minute, what's going on over there? Sexuality Show with Daily Christian Commentary videos. Other episodes down to be down in the pinned comments. Now, of course, we understand not everybody, but this is just meant for it's so that we think really well about the things we see on social media. For me, when I saw that video, I was like, oh, okay, this is sad. Wow, this is very sad. But then there was all this drama inside the video that made me think like, wait. I think there are people you should know that can resolve this or help you resolve this. You do have that in the mix, right? But maybe that's just me. Y'all tell me your thoughts down in the comment section. It's the Reality Show. To Daily Christian Commentary videos. Other episodes done today, they'll be done in the pinned comments. Y'all tell me your thoughts. Or am I just tripping? What y'all see?